Ladies and gentlemen, Kim here. Welcome to the Daily Update. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is up about 0.4% there. On the S&P, keep in mind, S&P 500 was down as much as 4%, 3 to 4%. I thought I saw an index or the sector down 5% earlier today, but it turned around. Ended the day with a positive note there. Nasdaq did the same. Semiconductor up 1.2. Dow 0.5% there. Russell 2000. Home builders and retail. Retail's up 6%. Home builders up 3%. These guys led the market today. Everything else up a little bit here, along with the biotech. Healthcare's down, along with the utilities. It's interesting, so utilities have been holding up really well throughout last week when the indices were down. Looks like today utilities are staying down. Their emerging market down about 1.4%. Bitcoin up, along with the gold. However, silver's down, GDX down a little bit, which is a minor. Dollar up, oil down, TLT, Treasury bond down, and the VIX popped just a little bit. Let's look at S&P 500 ETF. Spider, 65-minute chart here. So this is where we closed on Friday. And this is where we opened up today. We see a pretty sizable gap down. The problem was there was actually a gap in that vicinity. You probably noticed that there's that purple box there. It's because there was that up gap from, several months back. We're just right on that. What the buyer or the bears did, bears like, you know what, I'm not dealing with this. Bears are retired. It's going to be acting as so poor. They thought they're going to jump over the fence. So what they did was they gapped it down. So I actually tweeted it out this morning asking the question, is this going to be that island top down gap reversal, or is this an exhaustion gap? I don't think anybody actually replied because it's hard to tell at that moment. But what I can tell you is this. Island gaps are considered a reversal gaps, right? So if it's island bottom reversal, then it usually happens near the lows. When it is island top reversal, it usually happens near the highs to change the direction of that, that short-term trend. But what we saw here in this down gap isn't at the top of the move, but after prolonged down move for about 2 weeks. So I was actually looking at this more as an exhaustion gap. And obviously, you can never know until after the fact. So what's the difference with the island gap and exhaustion gap? Island gap is going to start a move. Exhaustion gap is the one last push, right? Remember, bears have been bringing it down for weeks. So they're tired. They're keep bringing it down every single day, but nothing goes up every single day. Nothing goes down every single day. So that final down gap that we saw this morning, I actually categorized this as an exhaustion gap rather than island gap. And what happened was that was the first hour, second, we kept coming down. We were down 3 to 4%. This is the first time seeing 3 to 4% down move in one single day since COVID. I believe. Maybe there's one another time, but it's very rare. And when you see market acting all hard, it's starting to lose its steam. It's bluffing a little bit here. It's tired. Bears are tired, but bears gotta make sure to scare you out. And as I zoom out, you'll see what this purple box mean with that blue thing outside of it. Because the stops were getting taken out because this was the lower low. And, even people who claim to be a long-term investors and all of them, they probably place their stuff right here. And that once that gets taken up, market make sure to get them out, bully them around. What happened? That was the 4th hour. That was the 5th hour. And I also tweeted out on the 5th hour that there's a resistance here. The gap there, resistance. And then this right here on that 6th hour, that was the ultimate FU from the buyers, recognizing that that was a bluff. That's an exhaustion gap. You bears got nothing. We know you're tired. And that's what we see. A shenanigan day today. 3 to 4% fluctuations. But, this is a market, man. You signed up for this. You oughta enjoy this. You oughta expect this. You oughta love this price action. Let's zoom out here a little bit. And we can maybe see a bigger, better picture. You see what I'm saying? This is what I said. This is a trap right here, looks like. People who jumping in, chasing the longs at the new all-time highs, and market does what? Plunging it down. And then you can see that was the last known low. So people who went long any of these levels, they're underwater, and they're almost the last level. They can't live with themselves. This is way too much drawdown for them. And finally, they exit. And that becomes the proverbial bottom. And that I've seen this happen over and over and over and over and over again since 2012, really. And so let's kind of remove these signals here because that gap has been filled. And so, so where we go from here? Well, first of all, let's not get, if you're a buyer, let's not get too excited about this one move. That's a nice move, right? But we need to see a follow through. Without follow through, one day doesn't make a trend. But keep in mind, we're below all these moving averages. There's a lot of work that needs to be done from the buyers. So let's take it one day at a time. What the bulls need is at least, at minimum, go up here and start flirting with some of these moving averages and ultimately want to fill this gap. It's probably going to act as resistance in this vicinity. And I'm curious how bears going to react to that. I wonder if bulls can able to, get up there. And the quicker they get there, the better it's going to be. Just because we're still in the short-term downtrend, right? Lower lows and lower highs. And if you haven't watched my weekend video when I did long-term analysis, then you can get a better perspective what that means. While on the long-term uptrend, we're dealing with the short-term downtrend, right? So bulls obviously need to see a follow-through to the upside. Best case scenario to jumpstart things, probably a gapping up and quickly going up and retesting it. Or, making a move. But if we start to fizzle here a little bit, don't be surprised to see this thing want to come back down, retest that low. Just because, again, we're overall downtrend. Let's check out that oscillator and see if we can extract any more information. So, interesting oscillator action here. You see total tankage. Somehow bears managed to keep that oscillator tamed. And I guess it's a strategy we haven't seen from the bears. We're kind of tricking us, thinking that, well, this market is not really truly oversold and bringing it down. But we obviously do have that cross here, initial cross. Obviously, we need to see a follow through. Is this going to look something like this? Maybe a little double bottom or something like that before this thing getting back up? We don't know, right? What we need to see a follow through move. If we do see a follow through move, there's a good chance Oscar's going to get back to the top of his band. So going into tomorrow, what we need to see, if you're a buyer here, a follow through to the upside. Any kind of jitteriness, any kind of slow, lethargic kind of action could ignite the bears bring it down and to retest the low from today. I'm gonna come back for you. We'll reassess the situation. Enjoy your evening. Good luck training tomorrow.